On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
Can you turn your light off? Oh, yeah, it's hard for me to sleep like this.
I'm almost done with this chapter. I got about 30 more minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
I can't sleep. All right.
A few moments later.
Babe, I mean, it's been 10 minutes. Can you please shut it off? I got to wake up early in the morning.
I have about 20 more minutes on this chapter. This is my only time to read.
I understand, but I have to get up early in the morning. Can you just read in the morning? I mean, I have a lot I have to do tomorrow.
Didn't you just get a sleep mask?
You know what? You right.
Use it.
Manta sleep, baby.
I don't know how you sleep with that thing on.
It's actually comfortable. Pitch black. I don't have to worry about your light. I'll be able to sleep just fine.
Well, enjoy it. Looks good on you.
This actually feels good. Oh, good night, baby.
Good night, love you.
Love you too.
Ladies and gentlemen, check out Manta Sleep. The link to the website is in the description of this video. Make sure that you use promo code TDPHINSTALK. That is TDPHINSTALK. Again, make sure you check them out. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. If you can't sleep when it's bright, these masks will turn out the light. Manta Sleep. Check them out. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Make sure that you hit that like button. Oh, is my mic up? Testing. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Testing. Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Make sure you hit that like button. Oh, man. How's everybody doing? Make sure that you support our sponsors. It is supporting the channel, Manta Sleep. Link is in the description of the video. What's good? I see you, Carol City 305. He says $6 million 1-year deal with incentives is a good check to collect for a hometown discount. We about to talk about Dalvin Cook, man. He's coming to Miami. All right. You ain't heard it here first, but he's coming to Miami. It's a wrap at this point. Hey, might as well dive right in. We'll go right in on that. Listen, Dalvin Cook is about to be a Dolphin. Okay, he is about to be a Miami Dolphin. What he's doing right now is just waiting just a little bit longer, trying and hoping and praying that somebody gives his agent that call, and his agent calls him and like, for real? That's all it is, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. He is not going to get that call. He is not going to get that telephone call from his agent saying, this team wants to give you $10 million. This team wants to give you $9 or $8 million. It's not going to happen. And what he's doing out here, him and his agent, they're playing a PR game, and you got to respect them for it. They are working on the emotions of the Miami Dolphin fans right now. All these interviews, I never got a chance to play in college back home. And, this will be like an opportunity to go back home and play. And Dolphin fans like, yeah, come on, Chris Grier, get him in the building. Chris Grier hears it. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all know how Chris Grier operates. Chris Grier is trying to get y'all to love him as much as possible so that y'all can continue to blindly forgive him for all these busts that he keep drafting and having to spend big money to cover him up. See, if I ask some of y'all right now, compared to all the GMs in the NFL, 1 through 32, where would you rank Chris Grier? A lot of Dolphin fans are having top 10 hands down. Because they're Dolphin fans, it's typical. They don't pay attention to what other teams are doing around the NFL. They have Grier top 10 hands down. But the funny thing is they did a poll of GMs, and Chris Grier fell smack dab in the middle, I believe, at around like 16 or 17. And I saw all the Dolphin fans on that that poll in the comment section. Oh, Laremy Tunsil deal alone, hands down, should have had him top 10. Y'all need to stop. Why would a general manager be top 10 when his team ain't even winning top 10 games for the playoffs? The Eagles general manager is better than him, and I don't know nothing about the Eagles general manager. You know why? They went to a Super Bowl. The Chiefs general manager is obviously better. All of these teams, the Buffalo Bills general manager is better. They've been perennially going deep in the playoffs. Well, TD, you also have to recognize that it's been a rebuild. Man, we're in year 5. We all talked about this thing. And 5 years ago, we said, all right, we about to go through a rebuild. How long should it take? Everybody, 2 to 3 years, 2 to 3. And I told y'all, 3 years is the rebuild. Year number 4, you should be competing for a Super Bowl. We just completed year number 4. We're going into year number 5. We're going into year number 5 of this rebuild. So back to the fact that Dalvin Cook's market is dry. This is a bad time for running backs. And he's basically trying to pull on the Dolphins' heartstrings, hoping that Chris Grier will ante up a little bit more. I'm sure Chris Grier done offered the man about $4 to $5 million, maybe. But Dalvin, you know, at a minimum, he at least respect me by giving by 7 to 9. And I believe that's what Dalvin Cook feels. Respect me by at least talking to me about 7 to 9. And he's just hoping, please, Chris Grier, listen to your fans. Come back with at least a $6 million offer with some incentives. And I'm going to tell y'all now, I don't think Chris Grier will budge, but once again, he is the master at making y'all love him just to hide all the mistakes that he has made. So you cannot rule that out. You cannot rule it out. And with that being said, he's also Dalvin Cook, I'm talking about, preparing himself to come to Miami because the market will dry and he wants to basically, because listen, they won't talk about this, but it's kind of embarrassing. You put yourself out there, you know, you're on the market and nobody wants you. So this is like a cover story. I have offers, but you know, I decided to go back home. You know, it doesn't make the situation look embarrassing, like nobody wants you. So he will be a Miami Dolphin. I don't see a team swooping in late. I mean, it could happen, but I just don't see a team swooping in late, coming to give him the bag. And if that doesn't happen, which likely won't happen, he'll settle with Miami because he's already preparing himself out here in the media to tell you that this is where he's going to end up because nobody want to give him money. So at least he got a backstory to make it look better. I'm coming to play for home. I'm coming to play for home. So pretty dope, man. Pretty dope. We're going to have a loaded running back room. It's going to be so amazing. We're going to have some great talent. We're going to really have an offense that should be very balanced if the O-line can play well and hold up. And I'm excited about it. But at the same token, it's time for Dolphin fans to realize that the window is closing. I said it at the beginning of this stream. It's a 5-year fully rebuild situation, and this is the year number 5. And shout out to Omar Kelly. I always give Omar his props where he deserves it. Shout out to Omar Kelly. Dropped an article today. And the reason why I'm shouting him out, you know, it ain't nothing new because if you follow this channel, I've been talking about this for 3 years now, and everybody kind of brushes it off. Everybody says, well, we'll worry about that when it comes. Oh, when the salary cap is fake, we'll be able to do stuff. Chill, TD. Shout out to Omar Kelly writing an article today, basically painting the picture for y'all. Helping y'all understand that this year 5 is the make or break year. He even puts it in terms where it's not a 2-year situation unless we're successful, which he's right. I've been telling y'all this. We are $32 million over the cap for next year. We have 28 unrestricted free agents next year out of the projected 53-man roster. 28, and you're over the cap. So say you got 28 players that you only paid $1 million, hypothetically, right? Then that means you're not 32 over the cap. You're 32 plus 28. That's $60 million over the cap if you paid 28 players $1 million, and we know that ain't happening. So you got to play players even more than that. You know you're gonna have your linebacker for $4 million, your running back for $3 million, your lineman for $7 million. That's all I'm saying. So you're $32 million over the cap and 28 unrestricted free agents that you need to fill those roster spots for the 53. So I'm putting it in context for y'all to understand, even if you sign 28 people on a league minimum, which we know it ain't going to happen, that's about almost $28 million. That puts you negative $60 million right there. Now, I got about 4 players that you're going to cut and save money on anyway. That's going to be about $40 million worth. But even that right there puts you at negative 20, plus those 4 players, you replace them with $1 million players, then once again. So next year, Dolphin fans need to come to the understanding of this. And Omar lays it out perfectly, and he's right. If we win a playoff game or two and we're competitive and we feel like we can win it all the year after, Stephen Ross will dig even deeper in his pockets, give more guaranteed money, and stretch even more contracts out, which, causes the organization to really not make that much profit. Basically, this money is the more signing bonuses he gives that comes out of his pocket. He has that discretion. Owners don't do that every year. They only do it when they feel like they're going to win now. Because winning a Super Bowl is going to bring them tenfold. Even the value of the franchise is going to explode. So if we're successful this year and we make like an AFC championship, go to the Super Bowl or win it or whatever it may be, then you got a 2-year window. He going to re-up the money and say, let's take a crack at it again. But if you, in my opinion, don't win more than one playoff game and you looking at the landscape of the NFL and you feel like, dang, if we couldn't win now, what makes us think we're going to win next year when we ain't even got no money? Even if I extend and do what I would do if we had one, the team ain't good enough and we ain't got money to make it better. It's another thing Dolphin fans need to realize. Next year ain't the year where we say, man, we did good, but we need to do this and we need to do that. We need one more piece here. We need one more piece there. You ain't, no. The only thing you got is a draft pick. That's it. Ain't no free agent spending the big next year. That's not happening. Ain't no big splashes in free agency. It's just like Buffalo this year. What did Buffalo do this offseason? Anybody? What did Buffalo do this offseason? They drafted Kincaid. From a free agent standpoint, not much at all because they can't. What really did the Chiefs do this offseason? You see, y'all get my drift here? So there ain't no more, well, we need a linebacker and a right tackle now. If it ain't in the draft, it don't matter. And we talking about rookies. So this is it. So if we don't have that level of success, Stephen Ross is a businessman. He's not going to have blind business and stupid business. Stephen Ross is going to instruct Chris Grier, or Chris Grier may not even be here. Let's get that straight now. I'm about to go into that. Stephen Ross is going to hit the reset button. In 2019, when they exiled Tannenbaum, basically, what happened was they put Chris Grier in charge of all football operations. And it was a project. And if it doesn't work this year, the whole project and the whole rebuild failed. It wasn't a restart on the rebuild when McDaniel or Fangio got here. No, they were continuing down the road, continuing on the process. Because what many of you all don't know is that they tried to hire Mike McDaniel when Brian Flores was the head coach. Some of y'all don't even remember that. They tried to hire Mike McDaniel as the OC when Flores was the head coach, which dispels another false narrative that Flores couldn't get. The 49ers blocked it. The 49ers blocked it. Now, I already know some of these ignorant people that don't know about this going to be like, TD making stuff up. No, it is a fact. The Miami Dolphins tried to hire Mike McDaniel as the offensive coordinator when Flores was here. Flores was trying to make his team better. All these lies, oh, Flores couldn't bring in a staff, blah, blah, blah. It's hard to unless you're overpaying. But the 49ers in this situation, they blocked it. So the plan didn't change. They just got their offensive coordinator, in the form of a head coach, which we all know he's just our offensive coordinator technically. And now Fangio is replacing Flores, which you could either consider that an upgrade or a wash. Whatever, not getting in the minutia of it. So the plan didn't reroute. It actually continued seamlessly without hesitation. So at the end of the day, this is it. This is the make or break year. So ladies and gentlemen, if we win a playoff game or two, you can look for them to bring this same team back in 2024 with a few tweaks via the draft and cuts, but it'll be the same team. That's why it has to overwhelmingly be a very good year. And it looked like, dang, we just lost. I think we could have went to the Super Bowl, but we got to try that again. You see what I mean? It can't be you snuck in wild card like you did last year and you win one playoff game and get bounced. Rebuild. This team ain't going to be allowed to sneak in the playoffs for Ross to be convinced. Not unless you sneak in and go win a Super Bowl. Not unless you sneak in and go to the AFC Championship. Anything short of that, it ain't going to happen. You can't sneak in. I can guarantee you Ross won a minimum of 11 wins. Minimum. And if you get the minimum of 11, we need 2 playoff wins. Minimum. Minimum. AFC Championship has to happen. It can't be a second round exit. Beating up on a wild card team and then you get beat. It can't happen. It has to be a successful season in that regards. And if that happens, we will buy ourselves one more year, 2024, to try to do it again. Now, if it don't happen, what does that look like? It's a whole nother rebuild. And what does a whole nother rebuild look like? The Miami Dolphins will trade Tyreek Hill, release Teron Armstead, unless they have obligations on the contract, and if they do, they'll trade him too. They'll trade Xavier Howard. They'll trade Jalen Ramsey. And those are the cornerstone players that'll be gone. They'll keep the rest of those guys. Chubb is young. He'll be here. Holland is here. All those other guys will be here. But we'll strip the roster of the biggest, best talent. We'll pay our young talent, as in Waddle, because you can't hold all your money. There's a rule in the NFL where you got to spend, I forgot the exact percentage, but it's somewhere out there like 90% or something. You got to spend that much. They'll sign their young players. And all the draft capital that they got back from Ramsey, Tyreek, Armstead, Xavier Howard, those guys, they'll rebuild the roster with young talent. And let our current young guys that are now veterans like Waddle and all of those guys be the lead catalyst. They'll be leading the way. And they will have Tua on his 5th-year option. And Tua will be manning the ship of a team that's really broken down. All big contracts are gone. Because after next year, regardless what we do, guys like Jerome Baker, guys like Emmanuel Ogbah, all those type of guys, they're gone anyway. they're gone. The Van Ginkels of the world, well, they may stick around for cheap because we'll need to fill the roster. But that's exactly what they will do because Ross ain't going to cut no more checks. He's going to reset. Now, before all these cuts happen, you might also see Stephen Ross fire our general manager, Chris Grier. He may fire our general manager. Mike McDaniel, I don't know if he'll survive. I think the next general manager will make that determination. And I think Stephen Ross will allow the next general manager to make that decision. That's what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. And if we don't make the playoffs or we skirt into the playoffs and have a first or second round exit, that's what you're going to get. And we all know what's going to happen if Tua has to man a ship with a broken down roster. It'll be his last year in Miami potentially as well. And we'll try to trade him in the offseason for like a third round pick or something like that if that happens. The new general manager will work with Mike McDaniel or a new head coach, whatever he decides. Fangio will probably be gone because he didn't sign up for it for another rebuild. And we'll be going after a quarterback to start out with. And this time, Stephen Ross will be very, very, matter of fact, let me tell y'all something. Stephen Ross will probably, in the interviews this time for a new head coach and general manager, he will probably in the interview, listen, we're trying to get the number 1 overall pick in the draft. How I want you to be the coach of this team and I want you to win, but how good can you be in helping us get the number 1 overall draft? He ain't gonna take them chances like he did with Flores when Flores told him, I want to win. And Ross and Grier had their inside joke. Oh, yeah, we know you want to win. And in their mind, they telekinesis saying, yeah, we gonna strip his roster and don't let him win. See, that's what y'all don't understand. When they hired Flores, they thought they were going to get the number 1 overall pick. Grier and Ross, yeah, they stripped the entire roster. Like think about Flores' first year. They stripped the whole roster. Laramie Tunsil and all. What did we have? What good player was on that roster? That was a guaranteed number 1 overall pick roster. Tell me I'm lying. What did we have on that roster? And in Grier and Ross's mind, we're going to get the number 1 overall pick. Herbert Burrow, here we go. And that's why all this crap came out. They were shocked when Flores started winning. They ain't mind the first one. Here, coach, your first victory. Here's the game ball. They don't mind that. I ain't see him in that locker room no more in victories, clapping and happy. I saw him in the back. So, man, even to the point where they tried to make up for the fact that Flores didn't get the number 1 overall pick, and they called Cincinnati and offered the world. Every first round pick we had for the next 5,000 years, they offered Cincinnati. And Cincinnati said no. Stephen Ross wanted Burrow. Cincinnati said no. Soon as Cincinnati said no, he started talking to Tom Brady. And he gave Flores an opportunity to make up for his mistake. Meet me on the yacht at 6. I got Brady coming. You better help me land him. No, that ain't how it went. Meet me on the yard at 6. Flores got there early, prompt like he should. Hey, Steven, beautiful boat. What's going on, man? Come on, we're going to go inside and have dinner. I got Brady coming. Up. I got to go, Steven. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's tampering. And he walked off. And right there, Stephen Ross said, we got to get rid of him. He's killing my chances of a Super Bowl. Oh my gosh, it sounds so funny, but this is how these things actually somewhat went down. This is like literally, I'm giving you the depiction somewhat. I'm keep saying somewhat because I don't want Ross to sue me. Oh my gosh. So at the end of the day, that's what a rebuild would be next time. We need the number 1 overall pick. We want the best quarterback coming out of the draft. And they're not going to have any question marks about him day one. They want him to start his career like Herbert and Burrow. They don't care nothing about no Drew Brees or Josh Allen's evolution. No, they want him day one so they know how they could approach their rebuild. Day one so they could figure out how to approach their rebuild. That's what happens if this year isn't successful. That's exactly what will happen. This one's right here is funny. Said, TD, you tripping. You saw how many fans was in that stadium last season. That's all Ross care about is big names and winning games. Are you tripping? Ross done already bled the Alabama fan base of money. He done already bled the fan base of money. What you got to understand is if we don't make the playoffs this year, we have an immense failure. He going to fill them seats regardless if Tua's here. So when he get rid of all that talent and go through a rebuild, it's still Tua time for 1 year. It ain't going to be with the greatest of talent, but it's still Tua time. He's still going to fill them seats. It's still going to be sold out. And at the end of the day, you have to understand something. Let's be clear about something with Stephen Ross. Why do y'all think it's all about the money with Stephen Ross? The man don't need no money. The man like at 300 years old, man. He don't need no money. He don't care about that no more. Ain't nothing finna stop him from not being a billionaire. That's the least of his concerns right now, filling the seats. Do you know what he's created in Miami? Do you know how big it is in Miami now with the Miami Open? F1 racing? The concerts? The Dolphin game? Do you know what he's built? He didn't come to Miami just for the football team. He wanted to make that piece of property a world-class destination for major events. Right now, ain't no football going on, but they got all the F1 tracks laid out. Miami Open, they got all of that. You wouldn't even know if it was a football town if the stadium wasn't sitting there. It is a major attraction, and that's what his goal was. And he only had one goal for the Miami Dolphins, not to fill the seats. That should come anyway. His goal for the Miami Dolphins was to win a Super Bowl. Because if you win a Super Bowl in this time right here, it don't matter how bad you suck, the stadium is going to be filled. Win the Super Bowl. The Bucs going to fill that stadium for the next several years, even though they going to suck because they got them Super Bowls that cemented the fan base. He ain't worrying about it. Stephen Ross been made it clear. It's not about the money, man. I want to bring a Super Bowl. I want to win a Super Bowl. That is my goal, and I want to do it in the near future. He done already extended how long he wanted to wait. He thought he'd have one by now. Man ain't worrying about all the money and stuff like that and filling the seats. At this point in his life, you know how much money he give away every year just to put the right politicians in place in certain places at this point? Do you know the work he does in New York and how much money he puts out there just so that they can have the right mayors or governors and stuff? Man, he's on some other stuff. He ain't worrying about that. Filling the seats. Man, let me help y'all understand something. What owners care about is how much is the organization worth? How much is the organization worth? A winning season doesn't increase the value by as much as you think. But a Super Bowl, owners ain't worrying about, oh, well, we made this much profit this year. Not when they got that kind of money. They worrying about the value of the Dolphins. If I bought it for $1 billion, how can I grow this baby to be 5, 10 billion? They're not worried about, hey, we made 400 million this year. Oh, that's nice. But how much is it worth right now? Well, it went from 1 billion to 1.1. I mean, we worth a whole lot more than that. I'm just giving y'all an example. You want to make moves that's going to take it from 1 billion to 5 billion. You know what helps you start to do that? Super Bowls. Super Bowls. And Ross ain't crazy. I got the destination, the champions. Come on, man. All you got to do is go look at what the Miami Heat value was in 2000. And then at every championship they won, just look at the chart of how much the value was. You're going to see big jumps. Not the little incremental every year, but the jumps, all the spikes. Them championships, man. That's what he cares about. But anyway, just come to the understanding. What I'm trying to get to y'all is that this is the Super Bowl. I'm going to be honest with you. This is the Super Bowl year. This is the year that even if we don't win a Super Bowl, we have to be left believing, man, if we get one more shot at it, I know we can do it. That's the goal this year. People can tell you all their goals, a playoff win, blah, blah, blah. They can tell you all they want to say. The true goal, Dolphin fans, if you want to know what the real goal is, no matter how the season ends, it has to end in a way where we're saying, man, one more year, I know we are going to win the Super Bowl. You see how close you see how we lost? Man, we were right. No, that's what has to happen. That's what has to happen. At a minimum, you got to feel like if we run it back, man, we're guaranteed. Guaranteed. Hopefully it happens. Hopefully it happens. Time always tells, though, and it's going to be very interesting because you got so many teams right now in a similar situation. The Buffalo Bills are in a similar situation, but they extended the general manager and the coach because at least they're getting to the championship round. At least they've achieved that. You see what I'm saying? It's worth, man, we're so close. It's worth it. Now the Jets are putting themselves in a situation where they got to win now. And Omar Kelly also brought up a great point. All these players want their money now on Miami, and that's what's hurting Greer. Greer is in the front office right now scratching his head. People like, I don't know why he tripping. We got $12 million right now. Greer want to save all he can for next year because he don't even know how he gonna figure next year out. But then he like, oh my gosh, Connor, man, why you gotta be tripping? I knew this was gonna happen, but gosh, I was hoping it didn't. Oh my God, Zeeler. Oh, I knew this was gonna happen, but I was hoping it didn't. I gotta pay Hunt. I knew that was gonna happen. I should have been better prepared for it, honestly. Christian Wilkins. That has to happen. This is what he's dealing with right now. With a negative cap next year. It's going to be interesting to see how it all shake out because you're going to see some deals this offseason happen. You're going to see some deals happen this year. And what is Chris Greer going to end up doing? He's going to bite the bullet in so many areas, but he's going to push it out to a place that if he's not the general manager, he don't care anyway. But this is why I'm upset with Chris Greer. Because it's like he's playing the field right now. It's like he's saying, I'm going for broke just in case I ain't general manager anyway. But I ain't. I'm like 80% going for broke because just in case this work, I still need some flexibility in the future, or I'm gonna be exposed anyway. And I'm like, no. If you're gonna go for broke, go 100%. Go get a right tackle. Go get a left guard. Go get a middle linebacker, another one, and go get a tight end. Like, go for broke. Like, really screw the next GM. But at least you might get a Super Bowl out of it. And we'll hold you down if we do suck in the future in 2025 and 26 and 27. Go for broke. Don't play this intermediate game like that. Shifting gears real quick. The Chiefs Dolphins game was sold out in minutes overseas. That's pretty dope. They sold that boy out in minutes overseas. That's going to be a packed stadium. Packed stadium. It's going to be pretty dope on the road. Well, for both teams, technically. Packed stadium. It's going to be dope. Got a few donations from some of the subscribers that are dedicated to the channel. I appreciate y'all support. Epicness 9001 said, I just want to win one playoff game. I don't care if we buy 1 or 100. The Super Bowl would be a huge plus. Yeah, it's hard for me to settle that one playoff game. The one playoff game actually means nothing to me. It absolutely means nothing to me. You're playing a wild card team. To me, it's week 19 of the regular season. It's week 19 of the regular season. So I ain't a fan of, hey, we want a first round wild card game just to get waxed in the second round. No, we need a second round win to know that we're actually a good team. Newsflash. Wild card teams typically are bad teams. They got the last spots for the against the real contenders. That's why 9.9 times out of 10 in the second round, even if you win the wild card game, you get waxed in the second round because you're going against real contenders. That's what you want to avoid. Second round win mean that you were in contention. Second round victory mean you were a real contender. The Dolphins is raw side hustle. His money maker is in New York. Exactly. This is his toy, but he wants to win a Super Bowl. G Money said no Super Bowl this or next year. Miami should have fire sale. Listen, G Money, if we don't win no Super Bowl, the Browns won't either. Your Browns won't either. How about that? It's too many good teams in the AFC right now. Too many. Like right now, the Bengals feel like they could win a Super Bowl. The Chiefs know they could win a Super Bowl. Buffalo feel like they can. I don't know why, but they do. That bum they got. Baltimore think they are this year. Loaded team. If nobody talk about Baltimore, how loaded they are, and this is the first time Lamar is actually going to have some weapons. Perennial playoff team, always wins 11 plus games if they healthy. They feel like they are going to win it all. Jets think that they right there in it to win it with the new acquisitions. I just named you 5 teams right there alone in the AFC that could legitimately have a shot. Miami, Chargers, Jacksonville, even Tennessee running it back with Derrick Henry and Tannehill think they got a shot. I ain't bring up the Browns. Nobody's talking about Denver, which has a shot. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. A lot of these teams are going to be tough, and it's any given Sunday. I don't trust the Raiders, but the Broncos, I give you that. Give us a first round bye, and I will say contender. Yeah, but Cap, what if you lose in your first round? You get a first round bye, and you get bounced your first playoff game. Contenders? Really? Just saying. Latest on Tyreek Hill's situation, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be real brief on this because I'm tired of talking about it. But I'm also tired of these ridiculous. Oh my God. Okay. And I'm gonna try to be quick. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna try to be quick, real quick. But I gotta get this off my chest. I gotta get this off my chest. G Money with the donation said we win in Super Bowl this year. Hopkins equals guarantee. Hopkins ain't going to no Browns. But anyway, I gotta get this off my chest. When I talk Tyreek Hill, there's 2 ways to look at it. One is the football way. I hope nothing happens, and I hope he's a major part of our team so we can win a Super Bowl. Period. Then there's the humanity part of it. Tyreek Hill got some problems. He got some issues. This ain't the first time his name been brought up, ain't the second time. It's the 3rd or 4th. 57-year-old man, he slaps. Whatever happens, happens. But at the same token, at some point, somebody who continues to have a history like this, some form of accountability has to take place. Me personally, just find a way to get the man the help he needs. Now, as far as the facts of the case, stop coming back and forth to me talking about I'm spreading false information, the case is concluded and all this and that. Don't be those people that look at an article, say it's closed, and then walk away and then argue with everybody that says it's open. As of last Wednesday, everybody and their mama determined that Slater's reporting was false. The investigation was not over. Even as of yesterday, I found out that they hadn't even talked to Tyreek yet. They haven't even talked to the victim yet. All they've done is went to the marina, interviews a lot of the witnesses, spoke to the person in charge there, got the story, got the footage. And now the Miami-Dade State District Attorney's Office just came out, and this is their words. We have received most of the information, and they will review to make a determination. So at this very moment, we don't know whether or not Tyreek will be charged. But based off of timelines, I don't think it will matter this year anyway unless Goodell steps in and sits him down. These things usually take a while. You had one player, last name Gay, G-A-Y, William or something like that last year, got in trouble in January. It wasn't even physical. It was less than this. And by September, he ended up getting suspended 4 games. He reached a plea deal in June 20th or something like that. July 20th. And August 20th or something like that, 2 months after he reached a plea deal, the league suspended him 2 months, and he pled not guilty. So we don't know what's going to come out of this. This is going to take some time. We just got to hope the commissioner, after they review the tapes, they don't come and say, hey, sit him down until the investigation is over. That's all we're hoping for. As from a football standpoint. From a football standpoint, we hope he practices. We hope he plays until this is resolved. We don't hope they do like they do with some cases and say sit him down until it's resolved. Which most likely a suspension would take place next year. If it happens. All the more reason why we need this year to be successful. Because that's even more incentive for Stephen Ross. If this year we don't make the playoffs or we fail in the first round, and then the league announces somewhere in December or something, or January or February, that Tyreek Hill will be suspended 4 games, that's even more incentive for Stephen Ross to say, yeah, just blow it up. But who you need to keep an eye out on right now is Roger Goodell and only him. Whatever happening with Miami-Dade police, whether they charge him or not, none of that. From a football standpoint, the only person you need to keep an eye on right now is Roger Goodell. That's it. What will he do? And from a football standpoint, you'd hope that, hey, let the man play until it all concluded. See, people say, no, the league usually wait until they get the determination from the criminal standpoint. Yeah, but a lot of times that's when there's no footage. A lot of times that's whenever there's no footage, they have nothing to base it off of. They just need to see what the courts say. But typically when they have the footage and stuff, they can make a determination at any time. But historically, this is going to take at a minimum 6 months before Goodell hands something down. So we should be able to get through this season and then find out right at the beginning of the next offseason what will happen. Unless Goodell looks at the tape and say, I don't like it so much that let's sit him down until it's concluded. Nobody's talking about that option too, which they have done. Let's sit him down until it's concluded. Whole bunch of people, oh, you're blowing this out of proportion. It ain't that big of a deal, man. Do me a favor. How about you just let somebody slap you open palm across the neck? Make sure you don't react. Make sure it ain't that big of a deal. Glenn said most he'll get is misdemeanor assault, no jail time. Yeah, we know. This ain't no jail situation. Nobody's worried about jail. I don't think I've heard anybody say anything about Tyreek potentially going to jail. This is all about what is the NFL going to do? That's all people care about. People don't care about the regular human side of this. People don't care. People don't care about the victim. People don't care that Tyreek did it. Let's just be honest. That's what the climate we live in today. People don't care. Most of y'all don't care. Okay. So since you don't care, get down to the meat and potatoes. You only care about what's going to happen to him as far as the NFL. That's all you care about. And to each his own. I ain't knocking it. I'm just saying. That's all you care about. Let's be honest. So, me to you, Roger Goodell is what you need to worry about. Will he look at it and say, we'll let it play out and then I'll come down after the season? Or will he say, I don't like this? Sit him down until it's resolved. And then we'll make a determination. Those are your two options right there. No, I know some of you do care. I'm just saying the climate of the majority these days. No care whatsoever. Only matter for them is Tyreek going to be on the field or not. That's all I care about. People are demonizing the man that got slapped with no evidence of why he should be demonized. Everybody's making these assumptions. Maybe he said this or it was a racial slur. Let's get something straight. I don't care what that man said. That don't justify anybody putting their hands on him. I don't care if it was a racial slur or not. You can't put your hands on people. Now, if you decide you want to put your hands on somebody for a racial slur to make a point and make a stand, by all means necessary, but don't complain about the consequence. This is what you paid for. It's what you paid for. You can't complain. There ain't no justification. Well, he called me the N-word. Okay, well, you slapped him. Now this is going to happen to you. And there's your justification for calling him. That was your cost. That was the cost. That's what people need to understand. But eye for an eye, words don't make things equal with physicality. That's some weak stuff to me. This is the point that I keep making to some people that say, well, maybe he called him this or called him that. You, in my opinion, I don't care who get mad, that's weakness. Somebody's words cause you to put your hands on them. That is weakness. You're offended so much, it hurt your feelings so much that you had to put your hands on them. That is a weakness to me. And that's the world we live in today. Words hurt in 2023. Words hurt in 2023. Society has created that. And it's sad. Anyway, yeah. That's the latest on the Tyreek Hill situation. We'll wait on the district attorney's office to come out and make an official statement saying whether they will or they will not press charges and have Tyreek Hill arraigned. It's that simple. When they come out and say, hey, charges are being brought. Hey, y'all, charges were brought. Here we go. It made a whole nother elevation of it. If they come out, we felt that it didn't reach this threshold where charges need to be made. Hey, y'all, here we go. This bodes well that charges won't be brought because it wasn't of that threshold, but we still got the Goodell thing to worry about. Let's wait on that. It's that simple. Now, the funny thing is, and this is where I understand when people say don't worry about the people that attack you, but it's a lot of people. This is an influence society. You actually, to a small degree, have to worry about the people that attack you because they influence other people to believe stuff that ain't true. And those other people don't give you a fair opportunity to present yourself as who you really are. That's why I'm not defending myself, but I am clearing things up. It's funny to me that all I've done in this Tyreek Hill situation is present the news. And people keep DMing me saying, why are you so happy about this? Where is happiness coming from? Have I ever on a stream, Tyreek hit somebody? Yeah, we got him now. What, Tua's gonna suck now? Did I ever? Like, this is what people are accusing. You bring it up like you find joy in the Dolphins' negativity. Where's the joy? I'm reporting what happened. Can you tell me what we've done good that I haven't reported? It's the world we live in. So when y'all read these comments, please understand, because there's a lot of people that don't watch the full videos. They just read comments. Please understand these people have a specific agenda. And the reason why they have this mentality and they try to attack is because other people are manipulating my words in their streams. So when somebody in their stream says, and you got this other YouTuber out here celebrating Tyreek's situation and saying everything but my name, and then people come over, why are you enjoying this? And this is why those people don't prosper. So at the end of the day, for those who are new to this channel, listen to me and listen to me clearly in what I say and not what other people say I say. Because most of the time it's a lie. Or a representation. Right? TD, people context comprehension skills are just need development. LOL. It's true. I ain't gonna lie, it is true. Like I could see the education system at work sometimes. Some people argue with me and said, how could you say this? And then I say, can you show me exactly where I said that? Well, it's kind of what you're insinuating. What words did I say that makes you feel I was insinuating? I mean, it's just your tone. What like like you see what I'm saying? They accuse you of something, then they keep moving the goalposts to justify the accusation. It's crazy. Like, where did you comprehend that? When did I say that? Well, it's just how you hearing somebody else trying to talk bad about me and you believing it and soaking it up. And you got a preconceived notion about me. Listen to what I say and stop listening to what other people say I say. It's crazy, man. TD, from when I've started watching you, you know for a fact that you're malicious towards anybody for no reason. Huh? TD, from I've started watching you, I know for a fact that you're malicious towards anybody for no reason. You have to write that. Oh, you're not malicious. You see, hey, Will Brown, you see that? You forgot the word not, and everybody was like, see somebody calling you out. See, they know it too. It's something that's simple. And they won't read your correction of not. This is why you got to be so politically correct the first time out here, man. The first time. Man. People are so sensitive that they can't stand other opinions that they can't agree with. Well, a lot of people let their emotions and their feelings take over. You know, they let their emotions and their feelings take over. And let me give you an example. It's just like, I love my mother. I love my mother. Most people do, right? And my mom, and she played basketball, just hypothetically in this situation, but if she played basketball and she's 0 for 30, and somebody on TV is saying, she's 0 for 30. She's just no good. And she has 20 games where she go 0 for 30 and she get cut and she's out of the NBA. I mean, WNBA. She's the worst WNBA player of all time. At the end of the day, I know it's my mom, but it's the truth. Why am I going to hate that man for doing his job and pointing out the truth? Even though it's my mama. Now, she's 35%, it's arguable because maybe some circumstances now, and I could argue, but at the same token, she ain't living up to it regardless of the circumstance. But people are letting their emotions and their feelings and their attachment to whoever you're talking about give them reason to argue or not like you and feel like you're just beating on them. They wouldn't be beating on my mama. They telling the truth. But it's really just the emotion. It's these emotional people. It's these emotional people. They're so emotional. Anything you say bad about, whether it be Tua or anything the Dolphins not doing right, they're so emotional. Oh my gosh, don't talk like, no, you're wrong. You have to, like, they want you to be wrong, which I understand that, but they want you to be wrong so bad that they'll ignore facts and hate you. That's where people lose themselves. That's where, from a religious standpoint, you actually have an idol, which is a sin. You're idling something. That's where you have something you're actually worshiping. If you're going to ignore facts to defend something, then you're worshiping that. They say you're not a Dolphin fan, TD. It's the same people that say no one listens to you. Who cares? Then why did you respond? That means you read it, first of all. Just to respond. It's ridiculous. But they can keep that narrative of I'm not a Dolphin fan. It's the same people trying to defame what we're doing because it's continuously successful. Same people. TD, you do the same thing though, brother. What's that? Give me an example, Ben, of what you're talking about as far as the same thing. What same thing do I do? Okay. I stand with Cube and TD. Yeah, on this channel, man, we like to have good conversation, like very clear conversation. So when you say, hey, TD, you do the same thing, give us the example. Give me the example of what you're talking about. I just said 10 things. Which one are you saying that I do the same? If it's the last thing I said, as far as ignoring facts to defend something, idling it, then you're wrong. I don't ignore facts. The only thing that leads me are the facts. But let me not jump to conclusions. Hopefully we hear from Ben in the next minute or two on what same thing do I do. Right? Probably ain't gonna hear from him. But Kenna, take the B word out and post it again. Oh Lord. If you were the GM for a week, what moves would you make? Right now, if I walked in that front office right now, I'm calling Dalvin Cook. I'm calling DeAndre Hopkins. I'm getting on the phone with what's your boy name at right tackle that played for Tennessee? What's his name again? I'm running a blank right now. I'm getting my right tackle and left guard. And I'm bringing in another middle linebacker. Week is over, deal with it. That's what I'm doing. Oh, that's what Ben responded. He said, I'm just saying, when you have a certain narrative, you want it to be right. So we all ignore certain facts because we are somewhat biased to what we believe, no matter how hard we try to be unbiased. Well, that's not true, Ben. You said certain narratives. See, I don't have a narrative. I take all the facts and I tell you what I believe. And I'm prepared to be wrong. See, I don't want to defend my narrative if I don't have evidence to defend it. If I sit here and say Tua's trash, and Tua goes out here and he ain't spot throwing, he ain't doing none of that. He is absolutely Brady Manning, Montana in this thing up, 60 touchdowns, 6,000 yards. And he's just like literally audibling and doing everything. I mean, just balling. I'm not going to sit here on the stream and say a broke clock is right twice a day. He's still trash. Or the only reason that's happening is because... No, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to say I was wrong. Tua is the best quarterback of all time. Anybody who doesn't see that, you're a hater. You're what Ben is accusing me of right now. See, Ben, I'm prepared to change my stance on anything as long as there's evidence and information that would suggest that I should. It's that simple. What did I say to y'all last year? What Tua's doing right now in the middle of the season, that's the direction he needs to be headed in. This is where he's growing, and he could end up being a franchise quarterback. Has he proven to be one yet? No. But this is the type of play he has to have on a consistent basis and at a high level, and especially against the better competition. We're going to see versus San Francisco if this really is full circle. See, and that's what people don't understand. I've stuck with my stance because there's been no evidence to change it. And the little evidence there is that would suggest that it could possibly be changed, I recognize. It's that simple. But the opposite of that are the people who are saying his rookie year, he's the best thing ever. He's going to come in and he's going to start day one. He's going to be a top 5 quarterback from day one. First year goes by, year 2 come. Well, y'all were wrong. No. Y'all are wrong. Y'all just don't understand. He is the best. He's this, he's that. And y'all going to see it this year. Those are the people that are defending a stance with no evidence. Now, did they get a little bit of evidence last year in 3 or 4 games? Yeah. That makes them feel better about their stance. But remember, they stuck on it when there was no evidence whatsoever. So who's really being objective? See, what I ask people to do is take out the fact that you're a Dolphin fan, take out the fact that you're a Tua fan, take out the fact that you're an Alabama fan, take all factors favorable out. Act like Tua was Justin Herbert and he put up his rookie year. Why is it that their stance would change? And you know it. If it was me, I would be doing Herbert the same way. So I understand the general notion that it's a human nature. People want to do that, but not all humans. Trust me, I'm not like everybody. And what you need to understand is 95% of people follow the crowd anyway. That other 5% are rare. They're the people that don't care what you think about them. They're the people that don't go with the tide. They go with the facts. They go with what they believe. They don't allow programming on their brain. The only programming they get is what they've done research on. So everybody isn't like that. Most people are. I agree with you on that, but everybody isn't like that. So at the end of the day, I don't have a narrative. I have an analysis. I have a take, and my take can be adjusted at any moment without feeling bad, without worrying about, everybody know you were wrong. Okay, but guess what? I'm right now because I'm on the right side. 1 + 1 is 3. Everybody know you were wrong. Now you know it's 2. Okay, you're right. It's 2, but I'm on the right side now. It's that simple. It's like everybody got to one-up people. Like, you got to feel you're wrong. You were wrong. You need a punishment for that. No, am I defending my wrong or am I just getting on the right side? Oh, you're on the right side now? Cool, let's roll. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. If Tua flake out and he's trash and they trade him in 2 years, I ain't gonna say, no, y'all ain't allowed over here now. The real Dolphin fan, no. Now I'm gonna be like, y'all recognize he wasn't it now? Oh, it's all good. Let's roll. Who the next guy? Let's talk about them. Let's talk about their flaws. Let's talk about what they have and what they don't have. What they need to work on and what they don't. And guess what? If Tua balls out and be our franchise quarterback and get a 10-year extension for $500 million, and he actually earned it, and I believe that, Tua's our guy. Let's go. And when you say, no, you can't come over here this time, you don't hold the keys. You can't hop on the wagon. I am the wagon. I am the wagon. Nobody worrying about that. Well, when Tua ball, he better not. Ain't nobody worrying about that. When he ball, I'm going to be screaming louder than most of y'all anyway about him balling. And that's when people really going to hate me. No, why he get to cheer for Tua now? He didn't believe it. Because now he doing something worth cheering for. You see how easy that is? You see how it works? It's about the best interest of the team, not a player. It's that simple, man. So no, I don't do that crap too. I want this O-line to be a success, so this way we can get a full evaluation of everything. But the O-line being a success isn't getting a full evaluation. This is what people need to understand. See, this is what's hard for people to understand. Is it realistic to have everything around your quarterback? Is it realistic? Is it realistic to continuously 15, 20-year career have everything around your quarterback? Maybe if you take a pay cut like Brady did, and he didn't even have everything. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody knew who the name, most of the receivers and all that was most years anyway. Running backs by committee, all of that. But it's not realistic. So this notion of, well, now we'll see what he is. No, you determine what somebody is by what's not around them. That's how you determine what somebody is. All quarterbacks' numbers going to drop with a bad team. And what you need to recognize, take Tua's rookie year. Bad team, right? Any quarterback in the NFL right now, they get that team, their numbers going to drop. But how much? How much, though? How much are they going to drop? That's the real conversation that nobody want to have. That's how you determine who you are, how good you are. We know every quarterback needs weapons. We know every quarterback needs stuff about them. But to gauge how good you are, that's how you do it. When everything ain't around you, how you look? How you look? That's what it's about. And like I said, every quarterback number is going to drop. But how much? How much? How much? All the top teams have everything. It's just not true. Just not true. And another thing, when you say have everything, there's levels to that too. There's level. Does Kansas City have a better receiving core than us? Does Kansas City have a better receiving core than us? And you can include tight end, whole receiving core. Does Kansas City have a better receiving core than us? And that's my point. Stop saying every top team has everything. There's still levels to it. There's still levels to it. There's still levels to this. A 7 out of 10 receiving core is enough. But if you got a 9 out of 10, then don't try to make it seem like it's equal with the 7 out of 10. Don't try to make it seem like that, because you know what that means? You're trying to make all quarterbacks equal. That's what you're doing when you do that. You're basically trying to say if every quarterback had that, they would be great. It's not true either. It's not true either. Look at Tua last year and his numbers. There are some quarterbacks, if they had what Tua had last year, they would still be trash. But there's some quarterbacks who, if they had what Tua had, they would be just like Tua. And there are some quarterbacks, if they had what Tua had, they would have a historic year. Historic year. There's levels to it. But we keep on throwing out these blanket statements to try to make it all even, make it all equal. Y'all seen Waddle workout videos? Let me ask y'all a question. I want y'all to think about this. What do y'all be thinking about Waddle workout videos? What do y'all think about those? They hating on you, TD. They can't be objective of their team. I know. It's okay though. It's okay. What do y'all think about Waddle's workout videos? TD, are you upset we didn't draft Herbert? No, I'm not. I'm not upset about any of the past decisions we make. I didn't think Herbert was the pick anyway. You know what I was hearing? I was honestly hearing Jordan Love. Real talk. That's what I was hearing. But I'm not upset that we didn't draft Herbert. I had 8 players that I would have drafted ahead of Tua. And I said I'm on record saying if I would have drafted Tua, I would have picked up an extra draft pick and picked Tua up around 9. I just thought that it was very irresponsible coming off of that hip injury to take a player like that at 5. Out of the 8 players that I would have drafted ahead of Tua, like 4 of them are trash right now. So the other 4 are pretty good for their teams, but 4 of them are like trash. So look like we dodged. We may have dodged some of those bullets depending on who we would have picked. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. But as far as Waddle workout videos, we actually get workout videos from Waddle every year. Waddle's a great athlete. Waddle's a great player. I just think he needs to take that next level by being consistent. Even on those workout videos, you can see him catching the ball with his body and stuff like that, which I don't like. But yes, he's fast. He moves fast. He's going to always be an elite weapon. And the reality is some quarterbacks, that's the best weapon they have is just having a Waddle. So it's going to be beautiful having him long term, especially in the future. But we also need to recognize, Dolphin fans, in the future, Waddle's going to be it. And you're going to bring in complementary guys. Like Cedric Wilson. I keep telling y'all this and y'all not realizing. Did y'all not realize Cedric Wilson was going to be our number 2? Let me say that again. Cedric Wilson was going to be our number 2. This is a fact. That's why he even got the money he got. Chris Greer brought him in to be the number 2. Then he saw that Tyreek opportunity and had all that criticism with his trash O-line and all of these problems, and he pulled the trigger on Tyreek. He didn't know that was going to be available. The Tyreek situation, he did not expect. And it was like, oh, man, I'm just going to do it, man. Wow. But remember that. Cedric Wilson was supposed to be the 2. I'm going to tell y'all this now. If Tyreek didn't come available, we'd be taking for Caleb Williams right now, probably. Like, let's be honest, man. Y'all be honest. If Tyreek didn't come available, we might have been tanking. We might have been, man. Y'all better call it what it is. It ain't nothing but this team without Tyreek last year. We would not have made the playoffs. Y'all know that. We would not have made the playoffs. And that's what I'm most terrified about in 2025. when it's time to get off of Tyreek's contract, Waddle's going to be the guy. He's going to be our number one. And at that point, we're going to bring in another receiver to complement him. And it might be better than Cedric Wilson, but ladies and gentlemen, that's what the future holds. That's what the future could hold. Unless we draft another first-round top receiver that's balling. But remember this. Remember this in that notion. We got 2 first-round picks the next 2 years. Who we going to spend them on? You need tackles. This team, man, we need the replacements. Man, I ain't going to lie. I'm begging Austin Jackson to work out, because if he don't work out, he not going to get a new deal. And we going to need a left and a right tackle. Easy going to be number 2, TD. Yeah, that's still a problem. I don't care how good we like Ezukama. He ain't Tyreek. So we'll see. Time will tell, man. Anyway, man, it's 2:30. I'm actually about to get out of here soon. Make me and my wife our smoothies, our midday smoothies. Shout out to the 300 and something people watching right now. Salute to y'all. Y'all hit that like button before we get out of here. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well if you can. Hit that subscribe button if you can. And we're gonna do some Q&A possibly tonight. We're gonna finish the Q&A portion, and I'm gonna open it up for us to come on a live stream together and add some people. All right. He doesn't have to be Tyreek. Yeah, you don't have to be Tyreek, but just remember, when you're not Tyreek, there's gonna be a fall off. Just remember all the miraculous things Tyreek did last year. You just remember those and take them out. Take them out of the equation. That's all I'm saying. All right. All right, let me see. Keep speaking the truth, TD. Shake off the haters. Let's get Cook and Hopkins. Give me 1 Super Bowl in this lifetime. Just one. However it happened, too, right? Just one. Just one. All right. What is that? Okay, got that. All right, y'all. Love y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. I will catch y'all on the other side. Maybe this evening. I will see y'all soon. I'll keep you updated on all breaking news and everything that happens, man. We're literally 1 month away from training camp. 1 month away. Actually, 3 weeks from now, the rookies usually report. So, man, it's about to go down. Fins up no matter what. My sister in here saying breaking news. Just got a text from Cook. He's coming to Miami. You my source now? My sister, my source now. People gonna be like, oh, his sister, his source. I love you, sis. I'll see you later, man.